The face staring back from your screen. The voice whispering in your ear. What if none of it is real? What if the digital world, once a conduit for information, is now simply an endless hall of mirrors? In an age where truth itself feels like a vanishing act, the promise arrived. A digital signature, a watermark, an invisible tag to tell us what's human and what is not. A trust protocol. It was meant to be our safeguard. But it's already broken. Across the globe, governments and tech giants are locked in an unprecedented effort to build what they call a trust protocol. The idea is simple. Every piece of AI-generated content, every image, every audio clip, every line of text would carry an invisible, unerasable watermark. Like a digital passport, it would confirm its origin, proving whether it came from a human or an algorithm. This ambitious framework, championed by initiatives like C2PA, aimed to be the bedrock of a new digital trust, ensuring we could always identify the synthetic. Surely, with enough resources, enough regulation, this could work. But that's where the first misconception lies. Most early digital watermarks worked by embedding tiny, imperceptible changes, a faint shimmer of invisible ink, within the pixels of an image or the sound waves of audio. Think of it like a fragile postmark on an old letter, barely visible, easily smudged. The problem? Digital content is rarely pristine. It's compressed, cropped, resized, filtered, shared across countless platforms. Each of these common actions, akin to crinkling that old letter, can easily corrupt or erase that delicate watermark. A simple screenshot, a common image filter, or even minor re-editing is often enough to strip it away entirely. This vulnerability kicked off an immediate adversarial arms race. Researchers quickly understood that simple, invisible ink wouldn't last. The counter strategy? Semantic watermarking. Instead of hiding tiny changes, these newer methods aim to embed more robust, conceptual information directly into the content itself. Imagine not just adding a speck of dust to a painting, but subtly altering the brushstrokes, the style, in a way that's harder to remove without destroying the art. Projects like IconMark have explored injecting interpretable concepts, like specific visual patterns or structural cues, designed to survive even aggressive manipulation. It's a sophisticated defense, but it's still largely confined to academic papers and hasn't been widely deployed in the consumer tools we use daily. But all this talk of watermark robustness misses the profound architectural shift happening right now. For years, the assumption was that AI models lived in massive, centralized cloud data centers, easily monitored, easily regulated. This is where big tech companies control access, and where watermarking mandates could theoretically be enforced. But that's where everyone is wrong. A quiet revolution has been underway, completely bypassing this centralized model. In the last year alone, open-source AI models have become so optimized that highly capable versions can run completely offline, right on your consumer PC, or even on a high-end smartphone. These local AI models exist outside the regulatory gaze of governments and tech giants. They don't report to centralized servers, they don't automatically apply watermarks, and they aren't subject to any safety constraints imposed by the companies that initially developed them. It's an unmarked river flowing directly from powerful algorithms to any individual who can download the code. This creates a parallel digital reality, a vast, growing ocean of unwatermarked, undetectable AI-generated content. With content watermarking facing this fundamental architectural bypass, the battleground for digital trust is shifting. If we can't reliably mark the content, then the next logical step is to verify the source. This brings us to personhood credentials, or PHCs. These aren't about watermarking data, but about cryptographically verifying the identity of the human creating or interacting with that data. Imagine a digital passport for your online self, securely linking your real-world identity to your digital actions. It's an attempt to push the trust protocol upstream, moving from anonymous content to verifiable personhood. We stand at a critical juncture in June 2026. The initial dream of a universal trust protocol, built on mandatory AI content watermarks, is being fundamentally neutralized, not just by clever hackers, but by the very architecture of increasingly decentralized AI itself. The silent war continues, between top-down regulation and the unstoppable force of open-source innovation. The promise of knowing what's real online is dissolving into a two-tiered digital reality, a managed, potentially watermarked domain, and a vast, unverified wilderness. The question now isn't just whether we can trust the content, but how we redefine trust itself, in a world where identity, rather than information, becomes the next and perhaps final battleground.